Okay, so if you're like, wait, I don't remember that example, this is going to be in Canvas, okay? Where's my stylus go? Oh, okay. All right, so first question I have for you, is this a function or not? Talk to me.
No. Function.
Why?
Vertical line test.
Vertical line test.
That's what I meant.
Okay, remember, in order to figure out if something is a function, it needs to pass the vertical line test. So if I draw a vertical line straight down through any graph, it can only go through one time for it to be a function. So this case goes through one time, we have a function. All right? What about this one? Function or no?
No.
Okay, so again, if I draw that vertical line, I see it goes through multiple times. Okay, not a function. Okay, I feel like for consistency's sake, I should put like yes there. Okay. Stop it, you. All right. Yes, no. All right. Function or not?
Yes.
Yes. Passes the vertical line test.
I like how you do your E's.
Thank you. I'll just sit here and draw E's over and over and over again. All right. So yes, this is a function. Okay. Come on, iPad. There we go. What about this one?
No.
Why?
Because if you go straight down, it's the whole line.
If we go straight down, it's the whole entire stinking line. Right? Which means vertical lines, true or false, are not functions. True. Vertical lines cannot be a function. Okay. So, any questions on these 4 examples that we have? We feel okay? If we did graphs, we'd be able to be like, yes, it's a function. No, it's not, based off of the vertical line test.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Cool. Now the thing that confused everyone, their moms, sisters, and grandmas. Okay, slight exaggeration, yeah, but it did confuse a lot of people. Domain and range.
I have notes about that.
Okay. If you have notes or if you took notes, go ahead and pull them out. If you don't have those notes and you have a journal and you want to really quick write some stuff down as I'm doing it, I would pull your journals out so that way you can kind of copy down what I'm doing. Okay, so we'll give you some time here. Okay, so domain. In your notes from earlier this week, one of the things we talked about was that domain was our x values. Okay, so if domain is our x values, it's important to remember where on the coordinate plane are those x values. Which axis do we find our x values from? Yeah, this one. Which one's this? Yep, horizontal. Okay, so we have the horizontal, the horizon. Those are our x values right there in blue. Questions? Okay, I will stop and ask you if you have questions after I give you just a little bit of information every single time because it's important that you understand what's up. Go ahead. Okay, so domain is x values. One of the ways that you can think about it are walls of a classroom. Okay, so I want you to look. We have the wall here in the back, right? And then we have the wall where the board is. Everyone in the classroom right now exists between the 2 walls. Would you agree with that? Okay. So the domain is like putting walls around your graph. Okay, we have a starting wall and an ending wall. Okay, so knowing that the domain is farthest, well, let me rephrase that. Knowing that x values go all the way to the left and all the way to the right, we are looking left to right. Smallest always comes first. So we're going to look for our smallest x value to our largest x value. Okay, left to right. Seems pretty simple, right? Okay. So when we find those values, they might look a little something like this. And it might look weird, but go with me, okay? So to find our x values, we're going to draw a vertical line. Okay? So here's our farthest left and our farthest right. Okay? What are those values? -3, +3. Okay? Let me fix this one. It kind of looks... There we go. Okay. Now, if you told me, oh, Stark, the domain is -3, +3, I would look at you and say, you just told me a point. -3, +3, that's a point on a graph. Okay? That doesn't tell me anything about the domain. There is a blueprint. When we write out the domain, there's a blueprint that we always go with, and then we modify it. You know, like when you're making like ramen and stuff, people like to add things in as they're making it besides just dumping in the season packet. Like I like to add eggs. Some people, yes, they're so good. Yes.
Healthy.
Eggs are so good, and eggs are healthy for you.
The whole point that I'm eating ramen
They're
is
so
to be
good.
healthy.
Thank you. Thank you.
In Japan, they have the eggs in ramen.
Ha! Sorry.
We're in America.
That's weird. We're in America, though. The melting pot of all civilizations. What up now? Ha! All right. So, all people's ramen is different, right? But it starts with the same base. Okay?
I like
Starts
to
with the
boil
same
my
base.
water first and then the seasoning.
See, everyone boils the water first, because that's the...
I eat the ramen dry.
You microwave it?
I don't like
You can microwave it.
Okay, okay. Touche. I've never done it that way, though.
3 minutes in the
Ooh.
microwave.
You said steak sauce and hot sauce? I'm gonna write that down. Okay, so, sorry. Those of you who are listening in on this video, I apologize in advance. So, the blueprint. You know, most people start with a bowl or a pan, right? Bowl or pan. Domain has a blueprint that we start with, okay? That blueprint looks like this. We have the starting number less than x, because domain is x, less than ending number. Okay? That's pretty simple. Because if that's our blueprint, all we have to do is plug in the numbers and figure out if it's less than or equal to. So looking at our graph, where do we start? -3. Where do we end? +3. Do our inequalities here, our less than symbols, are they going to stay the same, or are we going to change them up?
What up? I know. That one will change to greater than or equal to.
You're close. So it was kind of a trick question, okay? And the reason I say a trick question is because they're always going to be less than. They're always going to, the alligator mouth is always going to be open to the right every single time. It's always between less than or equal to. Okay? So I made a little cheat sheet down here, zoom in for you. If it's an open circle, whoa. Okay, so if it's an open circle, we have less than. If it's a closed circle, less than or equal to. Okay, less than or equal to. So when I zoom back out, looking at our domain, this circle right here at that +3, that's a closed circle. So the inequality closest to the +3, I'm going to change it to an equal sign. Okay, look at it for a second. How do you feel about this?
Solid.
So-so, or like thumbs up, kind of, sort of? Does it make, be honest with me, I need to know, does it make a little more sense now that you're here with me than it did at home?
Did we learn this last year?
What?
I feel like
We learned this last year, but I completely forgot.
I was going to say, you should have learned it last year for
I was
sure.
like, I remember I've already learned
The open and closed dots?
I remember learning this.
Perfect. So this should be a review, which means you should get a 100 on my quiz. He's shaking his head no. You didn't learn this last year? See, he said no. I'm going to go with him. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, if domain is X, what is range? Y values. So where are we looking at instead of horizontally? Where are we going to look at now? Vertically. Okay? So we know that range is our Y values. There's another E for you there.
Your L's make me happy too.
Oh, stop it, you. Okay, so just to stick with, let's do it this way. Let's add pink. Oh, that's purple. We got to add pink because it's red. Ooh. I'm fine. All right, so when we're talking range, we're looking at these, these values right here, right? Up and down because they're Y's. Okay. The blueprint for range is exactly the same as domain. But what's going to change? The X becomes a Y. Okay? So that blueprint is going to be exactly the same. Starting less than Y less than ending. I don't like the way that line looks, so we're going to do it again. Okay? So looking at range, if domain was smallest to largest, and we called those the walls, what do you think range might be? Smallest to largest, think about a room. What's on the bottom? Floor to ceiling. Okay, so range is floor to ceiling. All right? So if we go with our lowest value here, where's our floor? -2. Where's our ceiling? At +2. Okay, so when we put them in these blanks, we always start with the floor. Okay, think about a house. Do they build the ceiling first? No, they lay the groundwork. They have to put the foundation down before they build anything else. So we're always going to start with the lowest number. So we're going to start with that -2. We're going to end with the +2. What about our inequalities?
Less than closest to -2 becomes less than or equal to.
Why?
Because the dots are close.
Because the closed dot comes first. Okay, come on, work with me. There we go. Questions, comments, or concerns?
No.
You do honest to everything we know and love. How do we feel?
So good.
Gucci? Oh, question. Speak.
Why did you change that one instead of that one?
So why did I change
Like on the domain?
this inequality instead of this one? We started with -2, right? We started with the floor. The floor is the closed dot.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay?
I see.
wait, no, I'm still confused.
Floor is the closed dot.
Oh,
So
you
if it's
tried to
closed-
change that one.
Yes.
But, yeah, that's
Because this one is farthest right.
okay.
Okay? Does that make a little more sense? Still kind of iffy?
So we're always going to change that inequality or just for this problem?
Just for this particular problem. Okay? And it depends on where your circles are. Yes?
Why is it called domain and range?
Because whoever created algebra had way too much time on their hands. Honestly, I don't know why it's called domain and range. TBH. But I'll look it up as soon as we're done with this. Okay. That's actually a really good question. I don't think I've ever had anyone ask me that before.
I ask why things are like called that a lot.
Ugh. I mean, so does my daughter, but she's 3. Mommy, why? All right. So I went ahead, and this is the last example I'm going to do with you. Okay, last one, and then you guys have the rest of class to get caught up. All right, and if you need something unlocked because it locked and you were like, crap, I was in the middle of that, let me know, I'll unlock it for you. Okay, no big deal. All right, so this is our last example. I went ahead and I put the blueprints there so we can go ahead and mess with those a little bit, you know. Let's go ahead and look at this one. I'm not gonna lie, I had a fun time drawing it, because I wanted to do something interesting. Let's talk domain. Domain is which values? X. And X values go from what to what? Left to right. So if we're looking domain, farthest left, 1, 2, 3, that's a -3.
That's a -4.
-4 is going down. Okay, why?
The dot.
So the dot is at -4 going this way, but that's range. Remember, we draw the floor for range. So actually, this would be negative. It's fine. This would be -4 there. Okay, so remember, walls are vertical, right?
Oh, so you're following the X.
Yes, so I have to follow the X values, which are my vertical, so walls are vertical, okay? Floors and ceilings are horizontal, okay? So that's how I got those 2 numbers. Do I have to do anything with the inequalities?
Yes.
What do I have to do?
Less than or equal
Less than or equal to. Why?
to.
Dot is closed. The dot's closed. So I have to go back in, add my lines to show that they're equal to. That's a bad 3.
It looks like a square.
There we go. It looks a little better. And this 4 needs a little bit more of this. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Any questions so far? Yes.
So, this is, will we get to the other?
Oh, the other end?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to talk about it right now. Ha 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 ha. So let's focus on domain. Okay? So we're going left to right. Which, okay, that's cool. What do you notice about Talk to me. What's that?
Arrow.
It's an arrow.
It's an arrow.
That means infinity.
Like,
Arrows?
Like, yeah.
Arrows mean infinity. Every single time.
So does that mean we don't put a number?
That means we get to draw an infinity symbol. Some people don't know how to draw an infinity symbol. So you can draw 2 little circles next to each other, or on your, like, if this is your notebook, take your notebook and rotate it 90 degrees either this way or this way. Draw an 8 and flip it back. I'm just saying. Okay? That arrow, what direction is it going in? There are 2 directions it's going in. Okay, I was just thinking up.
Oh.
But, okay, so the arrow's going up and what other way? Right. If we're looking at domain and we're going to the right,
Whoa.
what do I know about these x values?
Positive.
They're positive, which means they are getting bigger. What is the biggest number that we have?
3.
Infinity.
Infinity. Because it keeps going and going and going, and we don't know where it ends, right? So that arrow is telling me, oh, hey, Stark, your domain, we have a starting spot for it, but it will never end because it goes to positive infinity. Okay, do you have to put the positive sign? No. You don't have to. If it's just infinity like that, I know you mean positive infinity. Okay? What other direction besides to the right is this arrow going? Up. Look at your range values. What do we know as we go up?
It's positive.
Positive y values, right? Positive y, not just any types of y, positive y. And so these are getting bigger. So my range goes to what? Infinity. No, that was a bad one. It does kind of. Like if you're super, like if you're one of these people, again, sorry people who are watching this video, you could literally just be like,
You could like start from this one and like draw a head around it and then connect it.
oh, you definitely could.
I'm gonna do that to all my infinity signs on my side and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. Yep. There you go.
Oh, he has like a mustache or
It's a mouth.
something. Oh, that's his mouth.
But then you could also like you could.
Now it's like,
Yeah, he's not very happy.
That's like the dude off of SpongeBob. You're that little girl.
yes, like Barnacle Boy and Waterman are.
No, not SpongeBob. Okay, we're getting rid of this because y'all are making SpongeBob jokes and we're not
Do you
here
not
for
like
that.
SpongeBob?
This is my
This is math class. Come on. All right. Does anyone have any questions about domain and range?
No.
All right. So what I'll do you want me to like, so what I'll do is I will export this video and I will link it on Canvas like right now. I'll put a to-do list up on the board, but you guys have till the end of class to either get caught up or get working on stuff. The end of the progress report's today. All right. Yes, ma'am. What's up?
I don't think I have anything. Everything's green.